right, so the Halloween season has come to an end, even though it's Halloween all year round on this channel, and no doubt the views are going to drop on this channel, much like my pants are about to, with what's in here. So, when it comes to collecting a Nightmare on Elm Street merchandise, one thing that's lacking in my collection, it's the books. So, we have fiction, we have comic books, and at one point, even Marvel were publishing Nightmare on Elm Street comic books. So, I have 2 books. Well, 3 now, and this is what today's video is all about, is unboxing a very, very special Nightmare on Elm Street book. But the first one I ever got was actually from my mum and my grandma when I was in primary school. It's Freddy Krueger's Tales of Terror, and it is blind date. So they have the new Nightmare Freddy as the Freddy of choice for this book. And no joke, this thing has been eaten by rats when it was in storage at my parents' place. I mean, look at that. Splinters got into that shit. So yeah, we got that one, and then my friend Chris, who lives up the coast, shout out to Chris, you're an absolute gem, sent me this. So this is The Nightmares on Elm Street, the continuing story, parts 1, 2, and 3. So this was made back in 1987, I think. But like, they've got some beautiful black and white photos in there from like part 1 and part 2. Nothing from part 3, even though this continues the story after part 3. So this is a nice little keepsake. It's a nice little rarity of a book. But there's one book that had always escaped me because of the price tag. We have the Nightmare on Elm Street Companion that came out after Freddy's Revenge. We've also just had plain old books that are just pretty much carbon copies of the films with different cover variations and stuff like that. But there's one particular book called The Nightmare Never Ends that I'd always wanted because of some beautiful anecdotes in the book, but also some beautiful high-res photos. I wouldn't say never before seen photos, but rare photos. Photos really you don't see out in the wild, and if you do, they're a super low resolution. Now, the other month, Chloe and I were in LA for Batman Day, and during our travels there leading up to the event, Chloe wanted to go to a bookstore called The Last Bookstore in downtown LA. We went there, and it's a pretty cool old place. Like, it smells like grandpa. It's amazing. And they've got like vintage books there. And I wandered into one room and I spotted it straight away down the back in a display case. And it was a next to pristine edition of The Nightmare Never Ends. Now, I took a selfie with it because I had to, and it'd be rude not to. And you see the price tag here. Like, it's gone for a hefty chunk of change. And at one point, I considered it. I'm like, oh, that's so tempting. But I thought, no, you got to save the dollary dues because everything was very expensive in the States at the time. And I'm assuming it's the same there at the moment. So anyway, came back home, and friend of the channel, friend who I met through the prop world, Travis, who has Creeping Fear cosplay, and also the Evidence Vault, who he has an Etsy store, does wonderful props. He's the reason why we found out the boots that Robert wore in the first Elm Street. Like, the dude's onto it. He's a great prop detective. Travis just sent me a message one day. He's like, dude, I watched your vlog with that book. You just look so defeated that you didn't buy it. So I found one on eBay and I'm sending it to your silly ass. I'm like, dude, you didn't have to do that. And here it is. So we're going to be unsatcheling it today and checking it out. It's been sitting here, no joke, for 2 weeks. The temptation to open it has been real. I've only just opened that part there and I've just had a little look in. It's all wrapped in cardboard and everything so it doesn't get bent. It sounds like butt. Get bent. Sorry, just replying to my wife. If I don't, she'll think I'm dead. So the plan is take this out and show you guys some beautiful up close photos. There's one particular black and white photo of Robert from part 1 in the boiler room, or the Lincoln Heights jail boiler room. I would love to have professionally scanned, blown up and printed and framed, because not just from a horror fan or like a Freddy Krueger fan point of view, the photo itself is beautiful. It's Robert dimly lit in the boiler room with the big brim fedora flapped out. It looks great. There's great photos from Freddy's Dead. So this was published in 1992. Like I said, there's the Elm Street Companion that came out after part 2, and then we've had the comic books and, you know, the fiction, stuff like that. So there's a bit of everything when it comes to paperbacks in the Elm Street world. We start off, handle with care, do not bend. Thank you. I feel like I need that sticker on me 24/7. Okay. hang on. I don't have a blade, but I've got a blade. Can see it already. Woohoo! Travis has wrapped it so well. This thing is tight. And voila. Look at that. The Nightmare Never Ends. The official history of Freddy Krueger and the Nightmare on Elm Street films. In somewhat pretty damn good condition, man. Oh, it smells like grandpa. It's so good. So yeah, Travis sent me some photos before he sent it off. And that's when I spotted the part 1 picture. I'm like, that is stunning. So we've got like the part 4 poster, and I'll try and grab some B-roll as well. So contents, like, you know, introduction, acknowledgements. Then we've got Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, Creating Freddy, a talk with Wes Craven, Playing Freddy, a talk with Robert Englund, Producing Freddy, a talk with Robert Shea. Afterwards, appendices, Marketing Nightmares, Body Count, The House Where Freddy Lives. All right, very cool. So a bit of everything. We've got part 4 Fred there. We've got the introduction. Oh, that is a great shot. That's such a beautiful shot of part 2 Fred with the blades coming out of his hands. Then we've got part 4 Fred there as he's squishing Kristen into the sand. This is what I love, because this was published back in 92 when these stills were super high res. That's what I want to take advantage of. How Freddy's house looked before he moved in. So that's 1428 Elm Street or 1428 Genesee Avenue. Are they, you know, stating that Fred lived in that house? It's always been like, did he live there? Did he not live there? It's just because Nancy lived there and her parents killed Fred and he's just gone there. Oh, this is great. Freddy stalks Tina in the alleyway. I always love that shot. It's like right before Robert stops to spread his arms out. Great shot of Fred behind Tina. Part 2 Fred. All right, so that's a bit of a mistake there. It says with part 2, well, a well-lit publicity shot of Fred showing the detail of David Miller's makeup. It's actually Kevin Yeager's. That's David Miller's makeup. Wow. Some beautiful black and white photos of Tina's death. That's the one. I know it's small, but it's that one there of Robert in the boiler room, and he looks like a proper old man, and I'd love to have that scanned and blown up. Great shot of Tony Caesar, the stuntman, doing his fire stunt. Absolute brilliant shot from part 2. You're all my children now. So actually, hang on, let me go back to the Elm Street 1 write-up, because so even back then in 92, they wrote special effects man Charles Blardinelli briefly played Freddy Krueger as he makes his killer glove during the front credits of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Blardinelli says, one of the first things you see him do is cut the fingertips off this work glove. In other movies, the fingertips are still on the glove. People keep arguing with me, but I know what I'm talking about. I was the one who did that. Jim Doyle concurs. That's how you can tell in 2 and 3 and parts of 4 that it's not the original glove. You can always tell pictures of the first glove because the index finger knife at one point is broken off. We soldered it back on, but you can tell because there is a seam there. See, even back then they knew that. I love that, man. The glove brought in $27 million in retail sales rights. For years, it was part of the most popular Halloween costumes ever. The original glove, however, was stolen a long time ago. According to Blardinelli, it was presented to Wes Craven, then I think he lent it for the second movie, and then it was stolen. I've heard through the grapevine that it might be in the Hard Rock Cafe in Australia or England. What? Or one of those places. Then other people kept building it for other movies and they got further and further away from the original design. As far as I'm concerned, it no longer looks anything like the original one, which is true. Although the glove is gone, probably stolen by fans masquerading as crew members, the original house that is used in the movie in the east side Genesee Avenue, right next to Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. Okay. That is interesting that Charles Blardinelli thought the glove wound up in Australia or the UK. Very interesting. Did not know that one. So then we move on to the write-up on part 2. We've got Jack Shoulder, Kim Myers, Mark Patton, Rob Russler. Just going through for any photos that really haven't been seen, but like great shots of Freddy melting at the end in the power plant. Great shots of Bradley Gregg with his puppetry vein appliances. That's a nice close-up shot of Robert with the antennas on his head, and then Tuxedo Freddy. Damn, these photos are brilliant. Holy shit, I've never seen that one before. That's like really unsettling. That's kind of freaky. It's a great shot of Robert getting his makeup done by Howard Berger. I always love that shot. The makeup looks so crisp and sharp. famous promo shot, and then that shot we saw at the beginning of the book. Okay, we're moving on to the Dream Child. Oop, that's a bit of a mix-up. They got a Part 4 image in amongst the Dream Child photos. It's okay. Great shot of baby Freddy and David Miller working on the puppet. All right, let's get to Freddy's Dead. Oh, okay. So, fun fact. This sequence here with Yvonne in the water. Body Glove, the company Body Glove actually made a neoprene sweater and pants for Robert in the water scenes. As you can see, it's got like a weird sheen to it. But yeah, Body Glove built a neoprene Freddy sweater and pants for Robert to wear in the water scenes. Crazy, huh? Okay, Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare. The beautiful Yaphet Kotto. What's going on out there? Great shot of the chalk drawing. Two great shots of Ricky Dean Logan as Carlos and then Freddy with the chalkboard. So this is a great shot here. And this is actually on the inside of the steelbook for Freddy's Dead. And it's a great reference point for the boots. I know I said I'm pretty sure I got the boots, the Red Wing Irish setting boots. I actually don't think it's them. The more I compare certain things, little details are off. So the hunt continues for the Freddy's Dead boots. They are some sort of a logger boot from what I can see because of such the thick heel. Alice Cooper. Great shot there, a big brain Freddy. So this one goes up to part 6 because obviously Wes Craven's New Nightmare hasn't come out yet. That's a great shot. Love that. Creating Freddy, a talk with Wes Craven. Then we've got Skeleton Freddy. Oh, damn. Fuck, man. Look, okay, I'll have B-roll, obviously, but this is great. This is brilliant reference. Look at this. This is Kevin Yeager's melting Freddy puppet from the end of Freddy's Revenge. I've never seen these photos before. Because I know it was like a hot melt vinyl that Kevin Yeager used, and then they hit it with heat guns, and that's how he melted on screen for real. Wow, this is great reference. Great shot of Robert's life cast, and then Kevin Yeager sculpting the burn appliances. Robert getting his makeup applied for part 2. Chest of Souls. Wow, these photos are incredible. Oh man, I love these shots, and every time I find them, they're in super low res. I've never seen that promo before from part 3. A map of Springwood, Ohio. All right, there you go, guys. So that is The Nightmare Never Ends, and I am so stoked to have this in my collection. A massive thank you to my good buddy Travis, man. It was very, very sweet of you to do that. I'm just glad I finally got my hands on this, but also please go check out Travis's work and his Etsy store. He does incredible stuff. Like even the finer little details that you need to complete a horror cosplay. Travis is all over it. So yeah, let me know which pictures stood out to you guys. I definitely want to have a few of these scanned and possibly blown up and framed, especially that black and white one from part 1. That's just, again, even not being a Freddy or a horror fan, it's just a beautiful photo to look at. Have a good weekend, guys. Love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.